And welcome back to the Nose Play Slay the Spire. We're picking up part 2 of our run with the Silent. As you can see, I went ahead and decided on the Calling Bell. I think we're going to be able to manage the curse that we get from this particular relic, but I do feel like some good relics moving forward would really help make this deck much more viable and maybe able to go the distance. So let's take a look at the 3 rewards that we got. So the first one is normal enemy combats are no longer encountered in question mark rooms. This makes pathing, specifically in Act 3, a lot safer. We can avoid the random encounters that normally take place in these unknown rooms. And so if we ever take a question mark, we're pretty much guaranteed to get an event of some kind, and maybe a merchant, but nothing like an enemy, which will be very helpful. This will allow us to make some safer decisions if we want to avoid fights at some point. Much like we did in the Ironclad run of Act 3, where we felt like our deck was pretty much done, pretty strong, didn't really need to collect more cards. And that's really the main reason you want to get into fights, is to get more options to add to your deck. But once your deck gets to a certain size, it's not as important to take on as many fights. You still get some other rewards like gold and potions, so they can still be worthwhile, but the main rule of fights is to get more cards. So this will be helpful. Ninja Scroll. At the start of each combat, add 3 shivs into your hand. This gives us shivs right from the get-go. This does present a small problem for us, however. This is one of those counter synergies that may become a problem. With 3 shivs and 2 innate cards, our opening hand's going to be very reliable, but it's also not going to be... We're not going to be able to have very many cards from our deck in our opening hand, even with our 7-card draw. And so I'm not sure how the 3 shivs work, because if they interfere with the 7, like if they count towards our 7-card draw, that could be a problem. If they don't, we're drawing right up to the limit, I believe, of 10. So we'll find out for sure, but having too many innate cards is going to cause problems for us, and we're going to get fewer draws than we probably should. The mango just permanently raises our health by 14, so it gives us more health to work with, so that's okay. Nothing amazing, but definitely benefits from the fairy bottle that we're carrying, because that's based on max health. So yeah, not bad. Definitely better than, I think, just getting 1 more energy. I already feel like we have good energy options between the outmaneuver and the doppelganger and the flying knee. So we're getting plenty of energy when we cycle our deck. We just got to make sure that we put it to good use. And then the last thing is we did pick up the Cursed Bell. This is an unplayable card. It's just a dead draw. Cannot be removed from your deck, so it's one of the few curses that you can't get rid of. There are a few ways to deal with it in combat, but it always comes back for the next combat, so you can't permanently get rid of this. And then we did pick up our glass knife, which this is really nice. 24 damage for 1 energy. This would definitely be a target we would want to upgrade. At our first opportunity. So let's take a look at a few things. The first thing we'll want to look at is rest sites. Looks like there's a path to the left where we can get 3, and then there's a path down the middle where we could get 2. Okay, so we can get a lot of rest sites on this left path. Up to 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we can get 5 rest sites. Taking some kind of a path along here. And then up to here or over to here. So that's interesting. There's one elite on that path. And the option for a late merchant. In fact, we could even detour through here and take on 2 elites and then cut back across, but I think we miss 1 campfire if we do that. Yeah. So the decision at this point is, do we value relics or upgrades to our cards more? We won't have to make that decision for certain until we reach this checkpoint. And there's a lot of different ways to get here. We could come up through here. It's the same path, basically. Take 3 fights and only take 1 of these. We do want to look at a lot of cards. I want to have the option to look at more cards. And if we start finding the cards that we need, maybe we take more question marks. Yeah, just the 1 option for the elite on that way. Alright, well, let's go ahead and pick one of these. I think this one gives us the option to take a lot more fights if we're feeling strong. We can avoid a fight here for sure. And then campfire if we're feeling beat up. If we're not feeling beat up, we upgrade, fight, upgrade. Yeah, this is probably the path. Alright, so the first 2 fights should be easy pool fights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so the shivs did not count towards our 7-card draw, which is nice. So we do still have a full hand. The problem is if we get any more innate cards, then we're actually kicking out one of our draws at this point. So yeah, we're only drawing 5 cards basically, and then we're getting 5 every single turn. So yeah, we're going to be able to do a lot of damage on turn 1. So anytime we encounter a lot of enemies, we should be able to get a kill pretty easily between all these shivs and our backstab. With 10 attack coming our way, we have a couple of options. We can play just the survivor and block 8 of it, or we can play the 2 defends. If we play the 2 defends, then we only have 1 energy, which limits us to basically just playing this card, or maybe this card. But if we are willing to take 2 damage here, and maybe discard one of the defends, we can play 2 cards, which gives us infinite blades and dagger spray, or we can outmaneuver into next turn. I kind of like that better, so let's go ahead and play that and ditch one of the defends. Go ahead and throw all of our damage down. And then we'll make a decision on which of these 3 cards to play. Dagger Spray just gets us even more damage in. Outmaneuver sets us up for next turn. What would we draw next turn? Next turn, he's not going to be attacking us. This enemy never attacks on turn 2. So I think we Dagger Spray. Alright, so still a lot of card draw. One of the reasons that we're getting so much card draw is the Centennial Puzzle. So anytime we get attacked on turn 1, we're getting these 3 draws on the enemy's turn from our first point of damage. And then we're getting our normal draw after that, plus our shiv. So we don't really need to play any of the defensive cards. So this is probably a shiv, neutralize, strike, and doppelganger for the following turn. He's going to put the Hex Curse on us. He always does this on turn 2, which starts adding negative status cards into our deck every time we play a non-attack card. At this point, we should be able to get lethal on him in 2 turns, but there's a slim chance we could even do it this turn with the right cards at 5 energy. So there's 16. 16 and 6 is 22, 32, 38. So we're really just barely shy of being able to finish him off. If we want to take no damage this turn, we're going to have to play backflip, which is going to limit some of our damage output. But backflip and deflect block 100% of this damage. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's play the deflect first. And we'll play the shiv, just to get some space down here. Glass knife is the most damage, so that should definitely go out. Flying knee is probably next, just to make sure we get that energy next turn. I like the idea of playing well-laid plans, which lets us keep one of these strikes. And I must have miscounted somehow, because all of a sudden I'm looking at lethal if I had not played that last card. So, we got lethal next turn regardless, but... Yeah, I definitely miscounted when I was doing the math earlier somewhere. It's pretty much irrelevant. Because we guaranteed the card that we needed, so even if we draw nothing but those dazed, we still had, through the card we did play, the strike we needed to finish him off. Definitely a mistake there. Ooh. Deflect Plus is really nice, but so is a Blade Dance. Escape Plan, draw 1 card. If you draw a skill, gain 3 block. We don't have enough skills, I don't think, to make that valuable. 2... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we do have about 1/3 of our cards as blocks right now. Grabbing another shiv source would be really good, but I am leaning towards the deflect because it's already upgraded. And a deflect block is really, really good. Or sorry, deflect plus is really, really good. We want to have mostly upgraded cards in our deck by the end game, so this is a common card. We're likely to see it again, and hopefully we see a plus version of it, which would be a better take. Still looking for poison cards. with our normal waylay of damage. Glass Knife is really good damage that we're going to miss here if we play something else. So I have a couple of options here. I'd really like to play Well-Laid Plans, because I'd really like to carry one or more of these cards over into next turn. Playing the 2 defends and the Well-Laid Plans lets us keep Glass Knife for next turn, but we miss out on the Infinite Blades. Using our block potion here lets us play Glass Knife, Well-Laid Plans, and Infinite Blades and keep the all-out attack. Or maybe play the all-out attack this turn and keep the Glass Knife for next turn. I actually like that better. We're gonna find more potions, but this is guaranteed to be 12 points of health saved. So we play Infinite Blades now. We play Well-Laid Plans. And we have a 1 in 3 chance of kicking out our Glass Knife. Or we play the Glass Knife and keep this. I like that better, I guess. I don't want to accidentally get rid of one of our best damaging cards. Okay. Cool. So we neutralize Deflect Plus, probably. There's the block we need. Then we shiv, all-out attack, and we'll hold the defend for next turn. So far this fight's going pretty well. So we can do 10 block. Go out. Back flip first to draw. Okay, so now we can play the Survivor. Pitch one of the strikes. And now we have exactly 13 block again. We get to play 1 card this turn and keep 1 card to play next turn. I'm thinking of playing Outmaneuver now and keeping the Flying Knee for next turn. Let's see if that makes sense. I think there's a high probability that we end up with Doppelganger next turn, which means having extra energy could make the following turn even better. So I like that play actually quite a bit. And we trigger a little bit of damage from the letter opener. I could actually take the dagger throw to give us even better odds of getting the Doppelganger in hand. So I'm going to do that instead. So Doppelganger's in hand. Got a Shiv. Dagger Spray. Deflect. Dagger Throw. Ooh. I actually had lethal. If I had paid a little more attention, I could have pitched the Doppelganger and played the 3 strikes. That would have saved us a little bit of health, Unfortunately, I was not paying attention. But, all in all, not a terrible fight. Ah, here we go. Okay, so finally some poison cards. A poison stab is more damage in the short run. It's 9 points of damage on the turn that it's played, 6 when you swing, and then the 3 poison ticks before the attack. The deadly poison, however, lasts longer, and they both get the benefit of the snecko skull. So each one of these will add 1 point of poison on top of whatever the card says. I value the upfront damage of the poison stab a little bit more at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and take our first poison stab. We're like very close to having lethal on this, like right away. Generally speaking, I think it's better to go ahead and kill him first, even though he has more health. We only have 1 defensive card here, which we should probably play. Then the question is, do we bother with infinite blades and well-laid plans? I think the answer is probably yes. It's a little bit slower, but it's going to allow us to keep our best card in hand, and we only have 1 really good card in hand here. The strikes are perfectly fine to toss. That's a little bit scary. This will definitely help. That's free. Okay, dagger spray, backflip. I think we play the defend, dagger spray, doppelganger, and then hold the backflip for next turn. The extra card draw and energy, backflip might draw us into something better to play. So we'll play the defend. That gets our block up and triggers our letter opener. We'll play this, and then we can still play this for 1. I really love that upgrade. And keep the backflip for the following turn. She's gonna probably heal, which is annoying. He's definitely within lethal at this point. It's just a matter of whether we have it in hand. So there's 10, 14... 22. 22 and 9 is 31. Do I have enough? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 energy. We have enough. If I play it in the right order. backflip. Every time, man. It always hits our best card. Random my foot. Alright, well, we'll keep this. Alright, 10 attack incoming. Survivor neutralize blocks it. So play the shift neutralize. Play the poison stab. Play the strike. Play the outmaneuver for next turn. And I can either... Yeah, just play this. Get the full block. And this will be lethal. So technically she's at 28 minus 3 for poison, so she's at 25. 25 is lethal. There's 12. 18 is all we have. So we got a lot of block cards. We have no draw in hand, so we just play our attacks. And hold our best defense card for next turn, which is going to be the Deflect Plus. Okay, so Shiv Glass Knife. And strike. There we go. Poison will tick and kill her. And another victory with minimal damage. We got another potion. This is actually a pretty good potion for us. Interesting. Okay, well, Sneaky Strike for like the 6th time has showed up. Masterful Stab costs 1 additional energy for each time you lose hit points this combat. Deal 12 damage. Masterful Stab is really good if you have a very defensive deck. In fact, if you have a lot of defensive cards, it can be very good because you can always block essentially. And so it stays very, very cheap. Quick Slash is okay at 8 for 1 with a card draw, but I'm really not feeling any of these as being very good in our deck at the moment. We generally are doing a pretty good job of not taking a lot of damage, but I think we're taking enough that Masterful Stab maybe isn't the play. It's the best choice in this group of cards at the moment. But I think unless we're getting something like a plus card or something that we're really missing, like poison, to go with the Snecko Skull, I think we're just going to start passing on some of these. We don't want our deck getting too big, especially when we haven't gotten rid of these cards yet. So I'm going to skip here. It'll be our first skip. I'm definitely feeling strong enough that we don't need to skip a fight, and I really need to see more cards, especially after having to skip one. So let's see if we can get through here. Okay, this is kind of a dangerous fight for us. I'm really happy to see the neutralize in our opening hand. This guy is very scary. He does a lot of damage, and he mitigates damage in an interesting way. So upon receiving attack damage, he gains 3 block. Block gain increases as Malleable is triggered, resets to 3 at the start of the turn. So the first time you hit him, he's going to get 3 block. The second attack is going to generate 6 block. The third attack, and so I think the best way to deal with this guy is to attack him in ascending order. So your smallest attack goes out first, then the next largest attack, which can actually break the block, then the next largest attack, and so on and so forth. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's you do your highest damage cards first? I used to know this. What is our highest damage card? 16 for one? The one thing I don't know is if this triggers malleable twice. Let's start with 16 for one. I think that did trigger twice. Backstab can pierce that. Then dagger spray? And then I can get a little bit more in. And then as far as defense goes, we just play this and mitigate a little bit of incoming damage. Which means I'm not going to be able to play infinite blades, but I think that's okay. So his attacks are really scary. We don't have our weakness this turn. And he reduced our block. The good news is we can play our entire hand. The bad news is it's not a lot. Yep. Throw that away. This isn't even a boss fight. Sure feels like one though. Good thing we have some card draw in hand here, because this hand is pretty meh. What are we pitching? Defend. Strike. Do I want to play any of these? I don't think we want to play any of these. Might keep this or this. He's going to hit us again for this debuff, which is going to reapply it. So this is going to give us the most block. So we should probably take it, especially if it's our only block next turn. Okay, we've got enough for lethals, so... never mind. That card's been used a lot, and the damage has been decreased. So we have 8, 9, 10. That is disgusting. Drinking the dexterity potion will save us 2, 4, 6 health. I I don't think the dexterity potion is worth 6 health. It would be better to have used it immediately. Alright, well, we're gonna hit him. Oh, wait, that's a double attack. Okay. So we do have lethal. No? Nope, because I can't get through the block now. I think if I had done that in the other order, we might have been able to get through the block and kill him. Feels bad. Keep that to finish him off. Errors were made. Second glass knife. Caltrops is actually really good against an enemy like that that's triple attacking every couple of turns. This is 9 damage back on the enemy. Don't have enough skills for flechettes to be good, so it's either caltrops or a second glass knife. Which boss is this? This is... Ah, yes. Okay. So this is one of those situations where knowing the boss a little bit can help you make this decision. I believe the boss that we're going to encounter does do some multi-attacks, and so caltrops does have more value against enemies that regularly multi-attack. So I'm going to go ahead and pick it up and hope that I remembered that correctly. We're definitely feeling some hurt this time around. Even with our higher health pool, we're already down to 31. Last game, or last act, we were able to get through the entire floor with 51. So campfire is looking really nice right about now, if we even get there. This could be kind of a scary fight. Mostly because this enemy will apply vulnerable to us if we kill him first. And we can kill him like right now. Which I think we're going to have to do. The only question is, which cards do we use? 16 puts him down to 10. Backstab is only wasting a single point of damage to kill him. Yep, let's do that. So glass knife here, backstab, get the vulnerable. This is going to hurt. I'm gonna go ahead and drink this, and I'm contemplating drinking this as well, just to minimize the chances of us dying here. And then if we double defend, that's 14 block. We're gonna get hit for 18, but we're actually gonna generate 4, so it's actually gonna work out just perfect to do this. And then I guess we just, we can throw these, but we don't quite break the block, which is annoying because then this number doesn't go down. The other option is only generate 11, take 7 damage, but we break the... I think we're just... Let's see what happens next turn. We only have 2 turns of vulnerable to get through. This is not going to cut it. Card draw. What are we ditching here? What am I playing? That is the bigger question. So we're definitely playing the defend. And possibly the dagger spray? Or the outmaneuver? The dagger spray will break his malleable armor and do a little bit of damage. So, play that. Dagger spray that. That'll break that down. Oh, twice even. Very nice. This turn will hurt a little bit. So that was the first time we took damage, so we got the cards. And now, the vulnerable status is worn off, and we have our neutralize. This would have been much nicer earlier in the turn. But we can go ahead and get him weak, which then makes this very effective. Poison is good here. Well-laid plans is helpful for the rest of this fight. And this should become rather trivial with our potions activated. What does our next hand look like? It looks like a bunch of defensive cards. It looks like a curse. It looks pretty bad for us to do anything next turn unless we carry a strike over. So that's what we're going to do. Even with the strike, I don't think we can get through his armor. Nope. No, we can. With flying knee and strike, we can barely get through his armor. He's going to deal 8. This blocks 10. This blocks 7. This blocks 6. Interesting. Alright, so flying knee for sure, then the strike, then the free block, and we take 2 damage and play Doppelganger for extra cards next turn. And we carry one of these over, probably this one. I need to remember we still have some malleables, so we're getting a little bit of armor from that every turn as well. Okay, 10 damage this time. Defensively, we have Survivor, which blocks it, so we're good there. And we have the perfect discard choice, which we talked about earlier. Just get rid of that. And now we have 5 attacks if we have that many. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can draw for... maybe the neutralize again. I don't know. Maybe we hold this for next turn. We'll pitch that. Get another strike in and keep this. That was a pretty solid turn there. Doppelganger's coming in pretty big for us. That is a big strike. Alright, so he's at 19 minus 5. So 14 plus 6. 20. We do not have 20 in hand. But we can definitely backflip to draw for more. That's 12. And 6 and 6 is 12. That's 24. 4. 24 is enough, I believe. And the poison will tick. We survived. We are definitely hurting this run so far. Upgraded flying knee. Flying knee's normally 8, right? Yeah. It is a upgraded card. It's not one that I would really care for, but I don't think it's bad. Having another source of weak would be really nice too. We're not cycling the neutralize enough. Even though it has 2 stacks, we're not cycling it enough to keep it up long enough. So I'm going to go ahead and take that just so we have another chance to cycle or keep it stacked for longer. We're definitely not going to be taking on this. I think we are going to go here. And we're probably going to heal and fight. And then hopefully upgrade if the fight goes well. We do have a lot of campfires on this run. So taking a heal now is probably okay. Alright, we should be set up really good for this fight with the cards that we have. Dagger Spray is huge here. Dagger Spray is really huge here. Energy. Which cards do we want to play? Infinite Blade's going to be very helpful in this fight. Next turn, we're not going to get extra card draw because he's not going to hit us for any damage to trigger our Centennial Puzzle. Concern about throwing at the dagger is that we're going to draw something that we are not going to be able to play, and that's going to feel really bad. Playing draw cards when you go to 0 energy is typically ill-advised. So even though we're going to give up some damage, I'm going to go ahead and play the outmaneuver and hopefully get a really good hand of cards that we can play every card from. Okay, well, that was a little bit wasted because of the 2 deflects. This is actually a really bad hand and no card draw in it. So all we can really do is keep that week going a little longer and hit him for a couple of points. And we get to say goodbye to our 2 of our better defend cards with no way to pick them back up until we cycle our deck. Unfortunate. Okay. $23. 6 and 9 and 4 and 8. I think that's enough. He's got 3 and 4 poison. That's so close to being enough, but I have to do that. Alright, he's dead. I can use this on somebody else. We should probably use it here. Just so he's a little easier to kill next turn. Alright, this is where caltrops would help. But we don't have caltrops. Boy, this kind of blows. Times 3 is 36. Yeah, we're kind of hurting here. Uh, 16. Plus, I need 7. So 16. So this glass knife. Oh wait, we only need 5. All-out attack kills him. We won't need any block. Ship is free. So I've got 4 points to deal with. Caltrops is fine. All-out attack's going to be played last. So I get 2 more strikes. So it's poison, all-out attack. Okay, so we got a chance. Two, I'm gonna keep the strike. He's summoning, so this is a turn to really go ham on him, and once again, we have like nothing in hand to play. We're getting really bad draws. Can keep this next turn, maybe? Really close to lethal here, so maybe we won't even need the block, but dagger spray is really good here again. The shiv kills one of them, the neutralize kills the other one. This is lethal if we take it as is. I can weaken him. Count for lethal. Let's start there. So we have 12 plus 4. That's 16. Plus 8 is 24. We have 32 and the poison. So we have lethal in hand, so we don't even need to worry. Miscounted somehow again. How did I miscount that? +12 + 4 is 16, +8. is 24. Plus 4 is 28. I don't know. I don't know. I may have just ended our run. Well, we got the fairy potion, so we'll live, but I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. Oh, the caltrops killed him, so that works too. I told you caltrops would come in handy. There's an upgraded sucker punch. That would have been nice. Upgraded prepared. What do we need? I think we need a way to sift through all the shit cards. So having a prepared in our deck that lets us, like, hopefully when we get these bad turns where we have nothing but block cards, we can maybe, like, sift out 2 of the block cards for some better cards. I'm down for a prepared. This is feeling pretty bad. I really wanted Smith. Yeah, we can Smith. Oh yeah, we can Smith all day. Let's do that. Let's get our cards upgraded, shall we? Things that are really going to help us. I really like upgrading this for 2 cards that we get to keep. Caltrops can be nice. This lasts longer and does more on the front end. What else looks good? Getting this big enough to actually kill stuff would be nice. Getting a double stack of weak would be nice, in fact. I like that a lot. So let's do that first. Let's get our chest reward, which is every 4th room is a treasure room. Okay, that's a little late in the game for that. We're gonna smith another card here. I think well-laid plans is gonna have a big impact. And we have a lot of money. Start each elite fight with 2 strength. Upon pickup, raise your max hit points by 7. Colorless, draw 3 cards, remove a card. Ooh, sadistic nature. Whenever you apply a debuff to an enemy, they take 5. It could be really solid. But we don't have a lot of ways to apply poison just yet. And we didn't find any in the shop. Catalyst is interesting because it doubles the poison. But it's a one-time use, and we're not stacking it efficiently enough to make that a valuable pick. Strawberry just gives us a little more health. Sling of Courage. Start elite combat with 2 strength. But it doesn't work for bosses, just for elites, and we're not going to be fighting any more elites. At least for a minute. I think that's worth it. Just because we're in a tight spot. Swift Potion. Draw 3 cards. That could have come in handy a number of times. And I think we do a card removal. Unfortunately, we cannot remove our Cursed Bell. But I think we could remove a strike card is probably our best bet. So let's go ahead and get rid of one of these.
Ah.
And do we need another all-out attack? I don't think we do. I haven't really been finding this card easy to play just because of the random discard feels really bad. We could get a cheap colorless potion, but I don't... Actually, we're not going to see another opportunity for a potion if we don't take any more fights. And we don't know what we're going to get here. So maybe we do want to take at least one more fight. Just so we get another look at a card. We could also pivot to this elite, but we've got pretty low health. I think we maybe pivot to this fight. Or we just upgrade a bunch of cards.
Ah.
I'm gonna go ahead and buy one. I don't know if we're gonna be strong enough, but start each combat with 3 strength. At the end of your first turn, lose 3 strength. Become a test subject. Transform 2 cards. I like this a lot. I think we transform 1 defend and 1 strike. Escape plan and setup. Both cards that I don't know that we're going to use all that effectively, but what I do know, put a card on from your hand on top of your draw pile. It costs 0. That could be good. Escape plan. Draw a card. If you draw a skill, gain 3 block. These could be used together. Put a skill on top, cost 0, get 3 block when you draw it. They're not terrible, but it's not exactly what we were looking for either. I'm strongly considering upgrading the deflect or the glass knife. And I think it's going to be the glass knife. Just because its effectiveness as a damage dealer is going to last longer, and it's going to be big enough now that it can one-shot some of the smaller enemies in the game. We get... this relic is not worth becoming cursed for. Yeah. Alright, so final decision time here. Do we go in with 24 health and 3 potions? I would feel a lot better with like 50 health, especially against the boss we're about to face. The boss we're about to face has minions, and it's going to be very hard to guarantee that we're clearing the minions fast enough to not take any damage. Especially since we didn't get some of our block cards upgraded like I would have liked. But we really can't have a scenario where we're destroying all of our block cards. So hopefully some of these tools, like preparation or whatever it was that we picked up, help us get through this fight. The really sad thing is we didn't really get the cards that make shivs better, and we didn't really get the cards that make poison better. So we're kind of still stuck in this limbo deck that's not really great at anything, which really sucks. Almost every card in our hand costs 0 right now. This is crazy. We can play like everything. There's nothing here that we play with setup, so that can go away. But I can play the outmaneuver for next turn. Ink bottle. Play card, draw a card. We're gonna get one draw here. Dagger sprays a good draw. Eight and 6 and 4. So that's 18. Okay, well, we're playing a mayhem. At the start of our turn, we're just going to play an extra card and see what happens. I'm not sure that that's a good thing, but we need more tempo. We need something. Alright, 18 makes him lethal in one turn. Draw 3, but I only have 1 energy. This is going to give me a bunch of energy next turn, so playing the draw 3 next turn may be the play. Okay. That worked out well. All-out attack here is going to do most of the damage on him. Which is like Shiv Strike finishes him off. So we got Shiv Strike, all-out attack to finish him off. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. Now we have 5, but I got to reserve 1 for the all-out attack. So I've got 4 to play. Let's get the deflect out, because it's free. Let's get Survivor out, because we got 18 coming to our face. Pitch one of the defense. I definitely want to throw Glass Knife at him. I definitely want to throw this to get poison on him. And then I have a decision to make. I can either throw out some more defense or do another attack. I think we gotta finish this fast, so I'm gonna go ahead and just attack him. That was like the worst possible draw. Absolutely the worst possible draw. How annoying. Alright, he's gonna do a massive debuff to us. I don't have anything that can really stop that, unfortunately. This is going to be a very close fight. The fairy bottles are probably going to get popped. He's swinging for 20. Even with weakness. Our defense is just not good enough. And now our defend cards are all weaker. Too many strikes, too many defends. Not enough synergy with our relics to make this run really go well. I think we just try to hit him as much as we can. Do I block here? Nothing feels great. Just do something like this and maybe draw 3. We have the extra energy next turn. So we're looking at like 2 turns. We're discarding a defend here because we're just attacking. Set up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow. Okay. Well. I guess this actually works in this scenario. We'll put the defend on top of our deck and it'll cost 0 next turn. Playing all the block is 9, 12, 18. Yeah, I guess that's enough. Why? Ugh. 1 more life, but we pitched our good AoE. Oh, we just need to kill him. Choose 2 to discard. Well, there's 1. So 6 and 9 is not enough. This is free draw. This is more draw. Class knife is 16. Puts him lethal when he swings at us, but I don't think the caltrops tick until after he attacks us. We still take the 7. So that means I have to shiv. 31. I'm at 30. This gives me 1 more turn. This gives me 1 more turn before we pop the fairy potion. We're really close to lethal if we just draw the right cards. Choose a card to put on top of your draw pile. I have 3 energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards that cost energy. Escape plan, draw 1 card. If it's a skill, gain 3 block. We have no skills in hand. This would be the one time that I could actually like force this interaction, and I can't. Definitely going to get 1 more turn because the fairy will pop, but I don't think we die. Or we use all of our attack to kill this. Ugh. Wait. Whatever I put on top, I just draw back, right? So it doesn't even matter what I put on top. Because none of them are a skill. So we use this to draw the card that or we just don't play it. And then we're guaranteed to get a strike next turn. Alright, let's think about this. All-out attack is 10 damage. That puts him at 13. 13 is... Shoot. So 13, 10, and 4 kills him. So this has to happen first. That way we can't accidentally discard it. This is free, so this should happen. This should happen here. Whatever this pitches is semi-irrelevant. How am I still weak? Like, why am I not dealing damage to these guys? Can I not do math? What is going on? Now he's definitely within range of lethal if we just draw the cards. Just draw the cards. Okay, prepared is finally going to do something for us. Maybe. Oh, okay. 8 and 4 is 12. And 6 is 18. And 6 is 24. Yeah, we just die. We got 30 health to work with. Actually, 30 health is enough, right? So we're going to get 30% of our health back. The 4 and the 4 block it to 1. So we have one more turn after this. We just throw everything at him. And then whatever happens, happens. Alright, Dagger Spray is 12. Flying Knee is 8. Those are our two biggest attacks. These are free. So let's throw those now. Did we draw lethal with... Oh, we did. Wow. Okay. Wow. That was intense. That was more intense than the Act 2 boss with the Ironclad. We didn't even pop our fairy potion. That's crazy. I don't have high hopes for this deck finishing Act 3. It's really going to take better synergy than what we have, but let's see. Oh, well, there you go. This is one of those cards that we were looking for up until this point. So this is one of those ways that we can stack poison with the Snecko skull very, very effectively, because all of our shivs apply essentially 2 stacks of poison once this card is in play. So this is absolutely our take here. And that might have saved our run. Oh, Wrist Blades is so good too. So we have a couple options here. Slaver's Collar gives us more energy for boss and elite fights only, but definitely would have helped there. Pandora's Box turns all of our strike and defend cards into something else. This is a lot more valuable if you haven't already upgraded or transformed some of these, but it's still good. It can just get a lot of garbage cards out of your deck. Can also give you a bunch of cards that don't really perform very well in your deck. And so it's a little bit up and down. Just really depends. But this, on the other hand, we know for a fact that we're going to have a fair number of shivs in our deck, and we can definitely look for more on the rest of this run. So getting more shivs and more card draw, maybe more defense. Some better defensive cards would be really good, because we just don't have enough good block. Upgrading that other deflect would be nice. Even upgrading our survivor card from 8 to 11 might be worth it. I think I'm leaning very heavily towards wrist blades and relying dramatically on envenom and shivs to potentially kill things moving forward. Also looking for more zero attack cards, or zero cost attack cards, that's the word. Looking for more zero cost attack cards would also help with this, so we're going to take that. And that's going to wrap it up. I will probably not be able to finish Act 3 until I get back from my trip, but this was quite the cliffhanger to leave you guys on. I'm sorry. As I said, though, if you finish with 1 hit point, it's just like finishing with all of them. So we get to start Act 3 with 91 health, thanks in part to our mango and our strawberry pickups, and some of the other things that we may have taken along the way to increase our health. So we got a lot of health to work with. We have to be a little bit more careful in the earlier fights not to bleed so much, and hopefully with the envenom we'll be able to fight these longer fights more effectively, because that was sketchy. We were getting some really rough draws. I miscalculated a number of times due to the stress and just math, but I'm going to go back and maybe watch some of these, because I can't figure out. I think what it is I'm not paying attention to when I'm weakened. When you read the cards down here, they show their normal numbers. But when you mouse over, well, no, they don't. They update to weakened automatically. It's the vulnerable where they get modified when you mouse over, like I showed with the ironclad. So your normal damage will show here, but when you mouse over the enemy that's vulnerable, it'll change the number and you can do the math better. And something was causing me to not count. Maybe it's just me being bad at math, but whatever the case, that was a stressful but very interesting and fun run, and I'm glad that we were able to finish it. Even keeping our fairy in a bottle, that definitely would have allowed us to get to lethal, even if we had died and not drawn the perfect 12 damage from our what was it? The twin dagger spray. Yeah. So dagger spray was an MVP. I didn't feel like we ever really got good use out of doppelganger in that fight. Caltrips had a few moments where it was doing things, but glass knife felt pretty good. Only having one source of poison in this deck felt really bad. The good news is once we cycle to this card, every card basically becomes poison. So we're going to be in a lot better shape. Things to look forward to upgrading, maybe the outmaneuver, definitely the envenom to make it cheaper. The upgraded just lowers the cost, but it just makes it a lot easier to get into play without killing your turn. And then our other deflect, definitely want to get that upgraded. Survivor, I could see being good at 11. But yeah, we don't have a lot of good block cards. All of them are pretty mediocre still. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Until next time, this has been the Nose Plays. I hope you guys had a wonderful day and enjoy your holiday weekend. Well, it's my holiday weekend, but